The room was electric. Cameras flashed like lightning, microphones bristled in every direction, and the audience inside the packed auditorium buzzed with anticipation. The nation had tuned in for what was expected to be just another heated political debate, but within minutes, it became something far more explosive. At the center of it all stood Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, fiery and unrelenting, facing off against Texas Governor Greg Abbott, who wheeled himself confidently onto the stage. The crowd quieted as the moderators asked a question about state rights, immigration, and the growing division in America. Ack leaned forward, her voice sharp as she cut into Abbott's points. She gestured broadly, her passion evident, but then her tone shifted. With a dismissive sneer, she turned toward him and said words that would ignite a firestorm across the country. "Sit down, boy," she snapped, her voice dripping with contempt. The room gasped. Even her own supporters shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Some laughed nervously, thinking she meant it as a jab at his politics. But others realized the sting of her words, directed at a man who could not stand. It was a moment so raw, so cruel, that time seemed to freeze. Cameras zoomed in on Abbott, his face calm but his eyes carrying the weight of years of struggle and perseverance. For a heartbeat, he said nothing. The moderators tried to step in, but Abbott lifted his hand. "No," he said quietly, his voice steady. "Let her finish." Ox irked, thinking she had rattled him. But Abbott's silence was not defeat, it was preparation. When she stopped, he turned his chair slightly to face the audience and then the millions watching at home. His voice rose with the kind of strength that can only come from pain turned into purpose. "You told me to sit down, Congresswoman," Abbott said slowly. "But America already knows that I've been sitting for nearly 4 decades. A drunk driver took my legs when I was 26 years old. I woke up one morning as a healthy young man and by the end of that same day, I would never walk again. You think calling me a boy and telling me to sit is an insult? Number. What's insulting is believing that disability, or hardship, or tragedy, makes someone less capable of serving this country." The audience erupted into applause. Cameras panned across faces as some stunned, some wiping away tears, others rising to their feet. Abbott continued, his words building like a crescendo. "When I lost my ability to walk, I could have given up. I could have let bitterness consume me. But I didn't. I studied harder, I worked longer. I fought to prove that my life wasn't over just because of what happened to me. And now, I serve as governor and not because of the legs I lost, but because of the strength I found in spite of it. That's the American spirit." The crowd roared. Even those who disagreed with Abbott's politics found themselves unable to deny the raw truth of his words. For a moment, the debate wasn't about party lines or policy points up. It was about resilience, dignity, and the power of the human spirit. Ack shifted uncomfortably in her seat, her face tight. She hadn't expected that her cutting remark would backfire so spectacularly. The moderators tried to regain control, but Abbott leaned forward once more. "So let me be clear," he finished. "You can mock me, you can call me names, but I won't sit down in silence. I may not stand on my legs, but I will stand on my principles, and I will always rise when it comes to fighting for the people of this country." The applause was deafening, echoing across the auditorium and flooding through television speakers in living rooms nationwide. On social media, the moment went viral instantly. Clips of Abbott's response spread like wildfire, captioned with words like respect, strength, and the real America. What had started as a cruel insult turned into one of the most unforgettable comebacks in political history. And for millions watching, Abbott's response wasn't about party loyalty or political ideology. It was about something much deeper, the universal truth that no one should ever be defined by their scars, but by the way they rise above them. By the end of the night, the headlines didn't focus on policies debated or questions asked. They focused on one man's response to cruelty, a response that reminded America that resilience is stronger than ridicule, and dignity is louder than disdain. And as the cameras shut off and the crowd filtered out, people carried with them more than just the memory of a political debate. They carried a lesson. Respect is not about agreeing with someone's politics, but about recognizing their humanity. It was a night when America was reminded that true strength isn't in the ability to stand tall up, it's in the courage to rise, no matter the weight that tries to keep you down.